What's up, guys? It's Dragonfly Mike 77. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Kong bowl. It is a Russian brand bowl. This is the Egyptian style or traditional style. This is the lava ice, and they have a lava bubble, razor black, and razor blue, and they have a bunch of other style lava bowls that are a little different. They do say that these are handmade bowls, so the design you see on my bowl will not be the same as the design on your bowl. Let me read what it says about the bowl on the box. Optimal quality, 12 stages of handmade processing, 1200 degrees of firing temperature, and 0% moisture absorption. It says perfect for the cloud and doesn't absorb odors. And then you can see the box. And there you go. And on the inside, it will have a little cardboard thing that is holding the bottom and a cardboard thing that holds the top of it. And just so you guys can get a look at it, I'll do a little spin. Nice, simple. I had no issues with this being even. There's no unevenness there. The inside of the bowl, this is not glazed. You can see that it's not glazed because some of the soot and just from putting a heat management device on there, you can see that the inside is starting to turn the same color because it leaches down into under the glaze and you end up getting that. It did say that it was perfect for something like a Kaloud Lotus, so I have one. So let's see. Yep, sits perfectly. I get no wobble, no nothing. Because this is unglazed, it gives it a little more grab than some of the other bowls. It's got that nice wide rim that's not moving at all, a little bit, which is nice. And then I have the Nagrani here as well, and that's gonna sit as well. There's no reason it wouldn't. And then the Mosaic Halo as well, which fits very well also. The two that fit the best to me are the 3 and the Halo. The Halo really comes out all the way to the edges and allows for good heat transfer. But yeah, so these are supposed to be handmade, as it says on the box. And this is one of my favorite bowls that I own. I know several people that when it comes to traditional bowls, this is one of their favorite bowls as well. I know people that have literally bought 2 because they always want to make sure that they have one available, because these bowls are fantastic. I don't get a lot of heat spikes from them. It's great. But let me pack it up and I'll show you guys how it smokes. I do have this packed up, but one of the issues I do have with this bowl in particular, and it's only really my bowl, I've asked around to see if it was other bowls, but the inside of this is glazed. So sometimes it's hard for me to find a grommet that actually doesn't slide with it. As I said, that's just what happened with my bowl. It happens, so it's not something that is detrimental to me or a reason not to recommend this bowl. All right, this has been going for about 20 minutes. Before I take a poke, I'll tell you what going on. At top, I have 3 320 25 millimeter coals. I have the Lotus stainless steel Lotus 3 with foil, and I have dark side cola in here and a little frosty. So let me pop into some clouds. Just smoking so well right now. And with this bowl, one of the things that is just fantastic about it is the way that it retains heat. This is a bowl that when you get it up to temperature, this has been going for about 20 minutes now. When you get it up to temperature, it just sits there. I don't notice a lot of heat spikes. If I decide to put the lid on, when the coals get a little smaller or I'm looking for a little bit hotter smoke, it doesn't just jump up real quick and all of a sudden it's a harsh smoke. And I also noticed that when the coals are getting a little smaller, I don't really notice that much of a drop off on heat. And I know the stainless steel has something to do with that, but the bowl itself just retains heat really, really well. Sessions go for anywhere between an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on how I'm smoking, if I'm hitting it a lot, if I'm smoking with somebody else. And if I'm using the 26s, I've gotten 2.5 hours out of just this bowl. And it's not exactly 100% kicked. I could probably go another 20 or 30 minutes on it, but I don't want to. I'm done smoking after that long anyway. So this bowl just smokes forever, and it smokes just as well from the beginning all the way to the end. I use foil with this, and one of the reasons that I do that with this bowl and in general is it allows me to alter the airflow. With this bowl, I noticed that the holes at the bottom of it are a little bigger, and because of that, the airflow for me is a little too much. But I know for a lot of people that's perfect. They like the really open draw. They like the almost zero restriction, and this bowl allows that. But because of that, as you've seen in other packing videos that I've done, which I'll link in the description, I tend to clear out the bottom of the bowl a little bit around the holes, so I'm not sucking tobacco all the way down on it. But since I'm smoking dark side, which is a much leafier, it's a choppier cut to it, I don't have to do that with dark side. I noticed that I don't really suck many leaves down it. I still use a molasses catcher because all those juices are just gonna flow right down into the bottom. Let me take another poke for you guys. Just flavor in this bowl is great. Now, I mentioned that the outside of the rim isn't glazed, and that is actually, it's a design choice, and it's a con and a pro. As I mentioned, the Lotuses or whatever heat management device that you're using, if you don't use foil, it's not really gonna slide around on it, but because of that, the outside of the bowl gets charred. And what I notice is when I'm washing it, that char seeps down into the glaze, and the bottom of the bowl under the glaze is getting that kind of dark and the soot and just the burn that ends up happening. And while that doesn't necessarily affect the way the bowl smokes, I don't get any flavor from it, it is going to affect the longevity of this bowl. At some point, I'm going to have to replace it. I know that a couple people have had to get another one because of that, but it's not the most expensive bowl in the market by any means. It's also not the cheapest. It ranges anywhere between $30 and $40 or $50, which the $50 price to me is just too much. I'm not sure why some websites have it for that much money. I got this one on Icon Hookah for $32. I know that World Hookah Market also has it. They may have it for $34, but I'm not sure. It's either $32 or $34. And I think that is a very reasonable price for this bowl. It is by far my favorite Egyptian that I have. I use this just about every single day. And while I do think at some point I'm going to have to replace it, it's going to take a very long time for that to happen. So it's one of those things where it is a con, but it is a con that is going to be a problem in a few years, right? That's not going to be a problem that I have right now. This is by far the bowl that I recommend people use if you're smoking Russian dark leaf brands. Those two, or Russian dark leaf mixed with the Kong bowl, you are going to have a phenomenal session every time. I'll take one more poke for you guys. Just smokes so well. As I said, this is the Kong bowl. I highly recommend it. It smokes really, really well. It is by far one of my favorite bowls that I own, and I think it'll treat you very, very well. I think that's all I got. Peace out, guys.